background is as follows. We are discussing a little bit of a deep topic as to what exactly is the connection between Vrindavan, Mayapur, and Jagannath Puri. And the connection given by our acharyas is as follows. Vrindavan is the place which is a favorite pastime place of Radha Krishna. Vrindavan technically means Vrinda's forest, and Vrinda Devi is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Krishna is the predominator, the personality who enjoys pleasure. Radha is not another person, never make that mistake. She is not someone whom Krishna found out. And she's like the sun and the sunshine are so intimately connected. So Shakti, Shaktiman, the energy and the potent. So if God is all powerful, all famous, all knowledgeable, all intelligent and beautiful, and what does he do with his life? Like one devotee had asked his Sunday school pastor, "Sir, what does God do on a Sunday afternoon?" And he was not happy with this question. He says, "What kind of a nonsensical question is this? Don't ask me such questions." He was thinking, why not? If you and me would like to take a break sometimes and just have a chill time, as they say today, what does God do with his time? Is he always working on a console with thunderbolts? Hey, that fellow is doing something, send something to his way. Or it's like a God who is always punishing, a God who is always angry. That's not the kind of God which is described as the absolute truth. So if God is an enjoyer, where does he enjoy? That is Vrindavan, the place of his pleasure pastimes. So that is principle number one. How does one enjoy? How do you and me enjoy? We need company. As they say, the more the merrier. How many times have you seen in a group event, people say, "Oh, I wish you would have been here. Oh, I wish my uncle would have been here. He would have loved this so much." Do you know sometimes we go to see a scenery or we go to see something and actually we know we don't have the ability to enjoy. Like a book or a poetry or a musical thing or a film or whatever. We want an expert enjoyer to tell us how to enjoy it, or a particular item of food. And like I remember my mom, many years ago, she had a fascination for one particular kind of Maharashtrian item. And in a family gathering, that item was not actually made properly. But my mom came from, maybe she came a bit late or something, and I was there earlier. And she ate it with such relish that people said, "Oh, she's the one who really loves this." And then I asked her that, "Are you famous for loving this particular item?" She said, "No, I was just hungry. I just I overlooked any kind of small defects here and there. But the fact is, yes, I really love that item, therefore I relished it." So, like today, I saw a YouTube video where somebody says, "Would you like to relish Shakespeare? This is how you should do it." And somebody is saying, "Wow, I never could relish it. I never could understand. Now you're teaching me properly." So even for enjoyment, you need a guru. You need some teacher. You need to teach you how to do something properly. So that is the second point. So how to relish Krishna's pastimes? We need acharyas, we need teachers. So Vrindavan is a place where Radha Krishna have their pastimes. Mayapur connection is because that same Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but a very different packing, as they say. Rather than Krishna, the male, Radharani, the female, here Krishna takes the mood of Radharani. And that is called Krishna consciousness. That's what you and me are studying. So if Krishna takes the mood, a feminine mood, so to say, can he have feminine participants in his Leelas? No. That will be incongruent. I'm saying from the bodily point of view. So therefore, Mahaprabhu's associates are all in male bodies, so that there is no social stigma on their coming together. There is no social stigma on people trying to understand how they do what they do. So we have Rupa Goswami, we have Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. They are all females in Krishna Lila. That is how one should see them. That is their mood. The connection of Rasa, the Rasa dance, the Ras Lila takes place at Radhakund, Govardhan, Vamsivat, banks of the Yamuna, so many places. Just imagine the same Rasa dance is in the courtyard of Srivas Pandit as Harinam Sankirtan. Question?
Prabhuji, can you repeat that? You said in Chaitanya pastimes, like the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are in the male body, and then whereas our Sad Goswamis are in female. Can you please say that?
I'll repeat once again. Krishna is the predominator. He's the Purusha. Because he's the Purusha, those who want to help him in his pastimes, they take the Shakti expansions, that is, expansions of his energy. They come as very beautiful females, the gopis. There are also males like Arjun, Pandavas, but that is just there they don't have the mentality of a male. A slightly intricate topic. It is said that females have a nice ability of decorating, of singing and dancing. So this has been discussed in one Prabhupada's purports. You don't need to have a female body to love Krishna. Even males can have that. It is just cultivating a particular mentality. Now it looks a bit funny. Lord Ramchandra is in this place called Nasik, Dandakaranya. And absolutely old, decrepit looking tapasvis, their bodies emaciated by hundreds of years of severe austerities. They see Lord Ram and they say, my Lord, we have to make a confession. We want to enjoy conjugal rasa with you. And Lord Ram cautions them that this is not the proper time, my dear devotees. My mood is now one wife, wow, eka patni vrat. Now you can tell Krishna that, why you keep limits on yourself? You're unlimited. The limitation is also a part of Krishna's pastime. Because Krishna wants to show, I am the extremes in everything. Following rules, no one can compete with me. And breaking rules, no one can compete with me. Maryada Purushottam, Leela Purushottam. Just like in geometry, perfect symmetry is achieved when you have both extremes. And that is also one principle of Upanishads. He is higher than the highest, lower than the lowest. He is very far, can't see him, he is very near. Now check this out. Objects which are very far away cannot be seen, and objects closest to the eyes also cannot be seen. Isn't it? So that is how. Anyway, so your point is how to understand them. So Krishna brought his associates, and especially the conjugal love associates are considered the topmost. Those same associates were invited in Mahaprabhu's Leela, and that is but natural. But they were just told to change their dress. So we have Ramananda Rai, who is Vishakha Sakhi. We have Rupa Goswami, who is Rupa Manjari. We have Sanatan Goswami, who is Rati Manjari. We have Jiva Goswami, who is Jiva Goswami is Rati Manjari. We have Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who is Guna Manjari. So on, so on, so on, so on. Right up to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. At the very end of his manifested presence here, in a last line of a last verse of a particular prayer he wrote, he says, Kamala Manjari aspires something like this. And our Acharya said, oh, that's what his constitutional position is. There is one Bansidas Babaji Maharaj, totally transcendental. He would be angry, he would curse sometimes, he would not eat for days and days, or sometimes he would eat like anything. It was totally, I mean, you and me won't be preached by such behavior. We will just run away from that. And that's why he's an Avadut. And he saw Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and he says, Manjari, Manjari. So he could, they say in English, it takes one to know one. You have to be like that. So of late, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur never exposed what his Nitya Lila is, and Prabhupada actively discouraged. Why is that? There would be cheap imitators by the dozen if he starts doing that. So as Kali Yuga goes and more deteriorating, proper measures are taken to conceal something, to keep something on hold. Now, these are the kind of measures which even, I mean, with common sense, you and me can also understand. Why is that? So the last thing what I was saying was Rasa dance and Shiva's Angan Kirtan, no difference. Same Krishna with female forms dancing around him because Krishna's mood is enjoyer. The same Krishna in an enjoyed mood of a bhakta, mood of a devotee, and then the complexion of the participants also changes. They take male forms. So then you and me cannot commit mistakes. Because even now there are sadhus, old people who dance with their young disciples. I have seen these hideous pictures of so-called holy men with a peacock feather on their hair. Can you imagine? And holding a flute. They can't even play it, but they hold it. Why? Because the disciples say our Guru is as good as God. God is Krishna, and Krishna has this dance, so why not? So cheap imitators, really deplorable, disgusting. Yes, Shri Shyamananda.
Prabhuji, I have Hare Krishna, Dandvat Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one question. It is pure in transcendental world, but it is very, that is not improper in this world. But so many people, we don't know the Shastra, what is the pure love. So as a conditioned soul, we can imagine our limit. So Krishna is dancing with so many girls here. I mean, even though the wedded wives comes for Krishna, all the gopis all night. But here, that is one of our regulative principle, right, Prabhu? no illicit sex with anyone. I know it's not a sex in the thing, but it shows all away all the things that Krishna is having, and everybody is pointing that even God has so many girlfriends. Why can't we like that, right? Why should it be like that? I'm thinking in that way. I know.
So you're asking why
Yeah.
Krishna dances? It should be just
Why,
like you and me.
why he showed that path? I mean, if it is not a good thing, it's not pure. Why he showed that path also to everyone? Why he revealed?
Very good question. Very good question. Because we are searching for pleasure. As humans, we are searching for pleasure in eating, sleeping, mating, defending. As dogs and hogs and insects and reptiles and birds, we are searching for the same pleasure. I'll give one or two striking examples. We were in Govardhaniko village and we would go for a night walk. Whenever 8-10 of us would go for some meetings, we would take prasad at 8 o'clock, and then around 8:30 we would go for a walk, and it was pitch dark. And just after the monsoons, we would see thousands of glowworms. Have you ever seen a glowworm? They have something at their back and then it glows. And especially in the dark background, it looks marvelous. And hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them clustered around some corner of a tree. And later I read in the biology book, this whole thing is trying to get a female partner, nothing less. All right. I saw another biological video of a, what is it called? A tailor bird or something like that. It's a funny name. Just with his beak. Imagine, they don't have hands, they don't have cutting tools, they don't have welding tools. Just with his beak, he has to go down, find a proper twig, bring it up, put it in some way that it stays there, tie a knot. How amazing. These birds can tie a knot with their beaks. Try it out with your mouth only, how to tie a knot without using your hands and legs. And they make a nest. Very beautiful. And sometimes the nest is not proper or not airy enough. All of it just so that a female can have a look. And then at a particular time, the female comes and checks it out and says, nah, I'm not going to stay here. So gone, all these 6 months efforts of making a house for your future wife. And she just says, no, I'm not going to stay here. So she looks for the most beautiful, the most nice. I mean, she wants an ocean view, and she wants not so high up, not so low, grocery store nearby, and airport nearby, and whatever their own kind of considerations. All of this for a wife. Srila Prabhupada once told a disciple, all these beautiful skyscraper buildings in New York, my God, they're so nice, they're so beautiful. Aren't the girls of New York very beautiful? And the disciple was flustered. I don't know what to say. He said, no, I think the girls of New York must be very beautiful. And he couldn't understand the connection between skyscrapers and the girls being beautiful. And Prabhupada also was not willing to let the cat out of the bag. So he sort of looked at the disciple, and the disciple was having this question mark on his face. He said, look, in order to attract these women, these people have to work so hard. And then they have to make these very tall, beautiful buildings so they can brag, if you are with me, I'll keep you in this particular tower, that particular house, or whatever. So Prabhupada had this uncanny ability, that X-ray vision, to understand what exactly is going on in the material world. Our Radha Govind Maharaj says, Look at the songs. India, there are so many songs. Every movie must have 5, 6 songs. Take all of them. It could be about 300, 400,000 songs totally, right? Since Bollywood began. He said, I guarantee 95% of them are about male-female relationships, male laws, male lamenting over loss of a female, female lamenting over the loss of a male, or both of them lamenting about each other. Why? This conjugal rasa is the topmost rasa, period. Nothing can stir your emotions more than conjugal rasa. It is expressly visible in this material world. How many songs come out with love? Love, 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 love. You really need love. All you need is love. The Beatles sang, all you need is love. Where is that love? So, another revolutionary point. If Krishna does not exhibit his rasa love, rasa dance filled with love, we will be forced to search out that love within the material atmosphere and will be thoroughly disappointed. So the rasa dance is not meant to confuse people. Rasa dance is not for elementary kindergarten students like you and me. It is for PhD scholars. But we are such fools that we feel that just because I know ABCD, I can learn Shakespeare. Or you can read Shakespeare, but you can't relish it. Give your daughter Romeo and Juliet. Read this. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, where are you? Where are you? So your daughter may read that. And if you ask her, do you understand? Do you know? See the love here? And she may say, what? What love? You see, sometimes a hero and heroine in a Hindi film or a Telugu film, they are embracing, and there is a dog nearby. Does he understand what they are doing? No. They could be very intimate. The dog doesn't understand anything. Whenever I see some kind of this, I remind myself, you are that dog. Right in front of you, something is happening. That doesn't mean you are enjoying it. So, to round it up, Krishna has to show this rasa dance as a part of his mercy mission. Kurmadev, did he show any rasa dance? No way. He didn't even tell who his parents are. Narsimadev, there is no question of any dance. It's a dance of death. Narsimhadev is such a fiery mood that even his wife is saying, I don't think he's my husband. I've never seen him like that. Up to Ram, the most beautiful of all human beings. He says his inability to accommodate everybody. Ram tells those yogis and tapasvis and those who are doing penances for hundreds of years, next time when I come as Krishna, all of you, here are your entry passes. You're all invited for a dance. So these gopis are called Muni Chari gopis. They were munis in their past existence. Our Acharya has explained that. So unless Krishna shows his rasa, who else can show a dance like that? A demigod? Not possible. So therefore Krishna himself comes, gives this highest expression of love, knowing fully well that it will be misused or misunderstood. But then that's a risk he has to take. There is a small test. If somebody reads Krishna book and says, wow, so nice, that person is pious. If somebody sees Krishna Lila and says, why does he do that? I also can do that. That person has failed the test. As simple as that. Our Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur liked a particular book by Jayadeva Goswami, Gita Govinda. And these are his younger years. And he told his father, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, I said Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, right? Yeah. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur asked his father, can we print this? He said, no. Second time he asked, can I print this? He said, no. Third time he said, this is very nice. We can give a proper explanation. And Thakur Bhaktivinoda said, only one copy for yourself. So our emotion, which is just now budding, we have just taken to the process of chanting and hearing and associating with devotees. This is like a very tender creeper, which has to be guided. Those of you who have done some gardening, that creeper has to be gently led to a very firm kind of a cement pole or a wooden pole, because a creeper always needs shelter, it needs protection. So Shravanam, Kirtanam is the watering. Associating with devotees and other things is like the fertilizer. And our creeper goes and takes shelter of a strong tree or a pole, and then it grows from strength to strength. If you go to some old temples, you will find creepers so tough. You can actually have a swing. You can actually climb on them. You can actually, it can bear your weight, an adult male or adult female weight. But a tender creeper needs that attention. So Chaitanya Charitamrita says the creeper takes shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And when the creeper reaches Golok Vrindavan, it bears fruit. And that fruit is Krishna Prem. And that particular devotee is given the chance to taste that fruit. And once you taste it, you know what exactly you were looking for. So that was the preamble for this verse. It's a very important one, therefore I thought we should spend some time there. Any other questions or any other points? All right. So 86. Text 86, Madhya Lila, chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll read the verse 86. Tribanga Sundar Braje Brajendra Nandan Kahapaba Evancha Bade Anukshan. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Absorbed in the ecstasy of the gopis, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wished to see Lord Jagannath in his original form as Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, standing in Vrindavan and appearing very beautiful. His body curved in 3 places. His desire to see that form was always increasing. Text 87. Radhika unmada jaiche uddhav darshane udghurna pralaptaiche prabhura ratri dine. Translation. Just as Srimati Radharani talked inconsistently with a bumblebee in the presence of Uddhava, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his ecstasy talked crazily and inconsistently day and night. So there is a nice small purport. Purport. This unmada madness is not ordinary madness. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talked inconsistently, almost like a crazy fellow, he was in the transcendental ecstasy of love. In the highest transcendental ecstasy, there is a feeling of being enchanted in the presence of the enchanter. When the enchanter and the enchanted become separated, mohana or bewilderment occurs. When so bewildered due to separation, one becomes stunned. And at that time, all the bodily symptoms of transcendental ecstasy are manifested. When they are manifest, one appears inconceivably crazy. This is called transcendental madness. In this state, there is imaginative discourse, which means one talks something which doesn't have any sense in reality. And one experiences emotions like those of a madman. The madness of Srimati Radharani was explained to Krishna by Uddhava, who said, "My dear Krishna, because of extreme feelings of separation from you, Srimati Radharani is sometimes making her bed in the groves of the forest, sometimes rebuking a bluish cloud. Rebuking means using strong words, and sometimes wandering about in the dense darkness of the forest. Thus, she has become like a crazy woman. In the beginning years of the Hare Krishna movement in the West, the devotees were seen as crazy. Maybe now also they are seen as crazy. Maybe some of your relations see you as crazy. At least mine do. And just imagine if we from India have this Gary Prabhu, how much he must be having difficulty in explaining what he's doing to his family, close family, or whatever. So this is New York. Devotees are coming out in dhotis and a wrapper around them. And one heckler said, "Hey, Arabs, these are Arabs?" I said, "No." So one guy came and said, "Hey man, you forgot your pajamas." The joke being, you woke up in bed and you have come out in bed sheets. Where are your pajamas? Seeing the shaven head, one lady asked the reporter, "Who are these?" And he knew something. So he says, "Hare Krishnas." So she said, "Hairy Christians? They don't have any hair on their head." So imagine Americans trying to make a sense of suddenly who are these people and why are they banging these drums and cymbals on the road. And in one county in America, the police would catch them. And one day the case came for hearing. So this sheriff was a nice guy. So he said, "Okay, what's the charge?" And the favorite charge in America, especially in Australia, England, America, the first word was causing public nuisance. You are causing nuisance in public. And strangely, this sheriff said, "Nuisance? I just see them chanting, I just see them dancing, having a good time." They said, "No, but sometimes they obstruct the traffic." He said, "No way, they add some color. Otherwise, our town is so boring. When I see them, actually, I feel happy." Bang, case dismissed. So when they told Prabhupada that this guy was so favorable, Prabhupada said, "Oh, he has appreciated Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. He has begun his devotional service." So every time something would happen in the outside world, devotees come to Prabhupada, they would explain that the purport given by Prabhupada would floor them like anything. Almost as if you can't do anything wrong in Hare Krishna. Whatever you do, there is some transcendental backing it up. Oh, this is the beginning of his service, because beginning of his service. Somebody said, "Oh, they appreciated our dancing today." Prabhupada said, "Yeah, that's very good." Someone took a book, very good. Someone took prasad. It was New York Rath Yatra, and Prabhupada introduced a very small, like this small dry fruit preparation called a luglu, Luglu. And Prabhupada said, "Give it free of charge." And the devotees also made milk sweets, and they were giving it for $1. Nice big piece of a milk cake. And at the end of the day, they gave a report. So many people came, and there was a question answer booth, which was busy all throughout the last 3 hours, 4 hours. And people took prasad, people chanted, people danced, they saw the dance performance. Then they asked philosophical questions. And then Prabhupada said, "Did you distribute that free prasad?" They said, "Yeah, but we also sold prasad. We could give this big milk cake preparation," and they gave $1. And Prabhupada is saying, "My God, I'm happy giving them prasad for free. They are giving me $1 donation. How nice is New York?" That is, I want that with my expenditure, I would like to feed you prasad. But hey, you are giving me a donation return. How much Krishna will bless you? So the point I'm trying to make is, so these devotees were seen as crazy. In fact, one devotee was put in a mental asylum for 15 days. And Prabhupada said, what are the charge? He said, well, I am mentally unfit to stay in the civilized society. Prabhupada said, oh, is that so? He wrote a small essay. Who is crazy? You will find there in our Veda base. Read that, how Prabhupada dealt with this, who is crazy. Prabhupada said the materialistic call the devotees crazy, the devotees call the materialists crazy. That will go on, it is going on since time immemorial. And what are our questions? Our questions are, who are you? Where are you going? What happens after you die? And if somebody says, oh, I don't care. You don't care? I don't think I will grow old. That is crazy. You are building a big house on sand. What if a high tide comes? Oh, I will see later what will happen. You don't worry about it. I am happy. Like a foolish servant, that story of Sheikh Chilli, that's the name in India, Sheikh Chilli. He was told to cut a branch. So he stood on another branch, but with his axe, he could not reach. So he went higher, could not reach. He went lower, could not reach. The only way he could cut it was to sit on the branch and cut it from the connection with the tree. So one passerby going down below, was walking on the road below, he looked up and said, hey, you idiot, you have any brains? You are cutting the branch while sitting on that branch. Very soon you are going to fall down. He said, why don't you mind your own business? I tried so many techniques. This is the best one where I can comfortably sit and I can do my job. So within no time, the passerby, as he was about 30-40 feet away, cut, crash, the branch came down. And thud, this fellow fell down. And then he rushed towards him and took hold of his feet and said, you are a great astrologer. He said, what makes you say that? Oh, you predicted that, if I cut this branch, I will fall down. He was thinking, what kind of an idiot is he? You need astrology to predict something like that? So, just see Prabhupada's views. All these countries are producing weapons. Now, you can produce weapons which are necessary for your defense. But today, Kali Yuga, it has become an industry, especially in America. Who takes the decisions? The decisions are taken by people who sponsor your ruling parties. Both parties are fully sponsored by either big pharmaceuticals, big gun manufacturers, big tobacco manufacturers, the fast food industry, Monsanto. So basically, the president is Mr. John or Mr. Tom or Mr. Dick or Mr. Harry. It doesn't make any damn difference. They're simply puppets in the hands of their sponsors. So when they take so much of money from their sponsors, whose bidding do you think they will do? And this is consistently seen that arms manufacturers, when there is a big glut in the arms market, too many arms and not much opportunity, they tell the politicians, start a war. Do something. So even if you and me have a lot of peace conferences, peace, we want world peace, it's not going to happen till there is a change in the consciousness. This is practical. This can be seen everywhere. One of our sannyasis was in a small state in America, and someone said, there is a strong anti-gun lobby in America. There is a strong pro-gun lobby also, which is practically more stronger. But this anti-gun lobby was telling that there is a gun manufacturing plant, and it should be removed. So the boss came and told the people, if you want this factory to be leaving this area, you will lose 800 jobs. And people said, oh, no, we keep it, no issues. So today's politicians don't even have that common sense that do we need to keep people only in manufacturing guns and bombs? That's the only way to give them employment. You can't have employment in other opportunities. So this is the craziness, what we say. So this will go on perennially. Text 88. Dwadashavatsara Shesha Aiche Gomaila Eimatta Shesha Lila Trividhane Kaila. The last 12 years of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were passed in this transcendental craziness. Thus he executed his last pastimes in 3 ways. Text 89. Sannyas kari 26 vatsar kaila je karma ananta apar tar ke jani be marma. For the 24 years after Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order, whatever pastimes he executed were unlimited and unfathomable. Who can understand the purport of such pastimes? Text 90. Uddesha karite kari digdarshan mukhya lilar kari sutraganan. Just to indicate those pastimes, I am presenting a general survey of the chief pastimes in the form of a synopsis. So, what you and me are reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita is just a concise summary. There is a later analogy given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, which is one of my favorites. He says Krishna's pastimes, Mahaprabhu's pastimes, their activities are like the unlimited sky, and devotees are like birds. So we fly to the limit of the strength of our wings. No bird can say, I have reached the end of the sky. No. So this also gives us hope. You're not expected to become an eagle immediately. You can be a small sparrow. And you can fly maybe 60, 50, 100 feet. An eagle may go above 5 kilometers. So both of you are flying, but then you will have to understand that somebody more mature than you will have greater ability to relish, greater maturity. That always is there. And that this is limitless. The pastimes are limitless. So it is just 10 minutes before we wind up. Anybody else would like to give any comment or any questions about today's topic, or maybe any other topic?
So I just want to share that, Prabhuji, you were talking about the mood in Vrindavan, the female bodies in Rasa dance and in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. The mood, when I was in Vrajdam, I was like, this time I was paying close attention to Rujwas, is the mood. That is the main thing, Prabhuji. The mood is so different among the Rajvasis. It is so, I mean, it's very important, their life, about Radha Krishna's, they kind of go with the flow every day, like, oh, okay, Thakurji gets up in the morning, the seva they do kind of, and then the whole day they're busy with their things, and in the evening again. So that's a mood, like they flow with that mood, Prabhuji. That was very interesting for me. And then I was thinking, Prabhupada says, even our Guru Maharaj says, the mood, we need to have Vrindavan in our hearts. So the mood, we need to, have that, it is like this, like in a house, family is living. So how the dealings are, like you put it theoretically, like you write down, father says this, mother says this, children says, when you read that, it looks so different. But when you are with the family in the house, you see the flow, like, so in Vrindavan, the flow, like when you're talking about that moods in, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas and then Vrindavan Leelas, that's what I was thinking. The mood, I think that's where Prabhupada wants us to purify ourselves with the, rules and regulations he has given, so that we can get into that mood. So I was just thinking about that, wanted to share with you all.
Very true, very true. Vrindavan, at least to you and me, is more than just a mere place. Like this famous quotation by Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, you cannot go to Vrindavan by buying a train ticket, or in today's words, a plane ticket. And Prabhupada assured, you take Krishna book, enter into those stories, and you are in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is also a place of consciousness. And Prabhupada said that I was thinking that why should I alone enjoy? Now, this is one of the most important aspects of an Acharya's life. Why should I enjoy alone? Why shouldn't I share this good thing with others? Now, this is so opposite a material thing. Like somebody may discover a particular formulation, and the first thing is to patent it so that others cannot enjoy I will sell it to you, I'll give you the benefits, but I want to retain the understanding and the notion that I am the controller, like pharma companies or inventors or whatever. But acharyas are, if I have something which is good, why not give it to others? Why others should not be not benefited? So every time you're right, it is always the mood. It is always the mood. And another point which is talked about by Narottam Das Thakur, that because it is Kali Yuga, side by side, those pure Brajvasis who have the mood, you also will have the anti-party, those who don't have the mood. So if you find people cursing you or heckling you or abusing you or joking about your lifestyle in Richmond, in New York, in California, in Mumbai, you may say, hey, you are bound to have so many people like that. If you have those kind of people in Vrindavan, you will have a whole revolutionary change in your mindset. How come these people are like that? Oh, why are they so interested in Bollywood films and music and like that? Oh, he's a drunkard. Why is he like that? So therefore, Narottam Das Thakur said, do not go to a holy place without good association, without someone to take care of your mood, someone to take care of your mindset. If you're cheated and buying something on Amazon or whatever, you may say, hey, they're rascals anyway. But in a small transaction, if you are cheated in Vrindavan, you may say, well, how come he is cheating? So therefore, like I'm hearing this Prabhupada's management of Indian temples. Do you know that when Prabhupada came to the West, he practically left almost the entire management thing to these Western disciples. But in India, he was so careful that because everybody now and then was cheating his disciples. They would say, oh, I will do this construction of a pandal for a pandal program. That's 20,000 rupees. And Prabhupada said, what? It should not be more than 5,000. In Vrindavan, a guy was supplying flowers. And he would sell flowers by like a gunny bag. A gunny bag is like a duffel bag made from cheap cloth. And the whole thing comes in the bag and the bag is then discarded. So 20 kilograms, say 4 or 5 such bags would come. Upon scrutiny, they found bricks and stones at the bottom of the bag. So rather than giving 20 kilos, you would give only 15 or 16. In Mumbai, the big construction was going on and people were stealing bricks. Those masons who were there, they themselves were thieves. So in Vrindavan, what Prabhupada did was, He said, how many plates of Mahaprasadam we are offering? They said 10. This is Prabhupada said 10. One for Prabhupada's Murti. It was there while Prabhupada was there on the planet. And one for Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. One each for Gaur Nitai, 4. Krishna Balram, 6. Radha, Shamsundar, Lalita, Vishakha, 4. 10. And amazingly, Prabhupada said 10 not necessary, make it only 6. We can't afford so much now. So he actually reduced. Very strange. Then he said, how much are the devotees eating? They were making a big feast, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, 3 times a day. Prabhupada said, not necessary. They were spending 9,000 rupees a month. And Prabhupada saying, I'll give you only 1,000. That was the kind of management efficiency he was trying to put it up there. One day, 1.5 hours, they were discussing what is the cost of making one puri. Now, Radhika, you are learning management now. Can anything be more intricate than this? How much one puri costs? There was a letter to be sent to Mathura. And it's a very famous story. And Prabhupada asked a disciple that, so what are you going to do? He said, I'll take a rickshaw. Mathura is about 7 kilometers away. I'll take a rickshaw. A rickshaw is like a small cart, gari. I don't know whether you have seen any like that. Some are like a man pulls it, or sometimes a animal pulls it, or sometimes it's like a motor rickshaw. Nowadays, you don't have the animal ones, but you have electric cars. So that time he said, it will take me 5 rupees, 50 paisa to go and come back. And they said, oh. And Prabhupada said, okay, what if you send it by registered post? That means you just post it. Registered means you get a acknowledgement that your letter has been received. It will be 3 rupees 75 paisa. Prabhupada said, no need to go. I will make a registered post. Saving 1 rupee and 75 paise only. But this is how Prabhupada told his disciples, this is how you have to save every farthing for Krishna's pleasure. So what you see, what other people talk about Vrindavan and what Prabhupada gave a conception of Vrindavan, very different, very different. At the same time, he said, my followers should come here, relish it 3 days only. He said, don't stay for long. Come here, nourish yourself, nourish your heart, carry the sentiment, go back to your preaching area and carry on with your service.
But Prabhupada has given us everything, Prabhuji, for coming generations and generations also, that will be never old, the practices and, the instructions he has given us, because I was, meditating on those, what Prabhupada said. And I felt like, it was in 1960s and 70s, right? Prabhupada has given all these instructions about all this. Now, like, after 50 years, still like it's so fresh and new. And I'm sure going forward, like, generations, and it will be like, the instructions will be so fresh and new. Very grateful to Prabhupada, Prabhuji. Should be very, very grateful. Like, I don't know.
Yes.
I feel so kind of, thanking like Krishna for Prabhupada. Otherwise, where I would have been, no idea. But just thought I'll
feel worthless, feel thankless. That is the Vrindavan mood. But carry on with your service. That's how all Brajvasis are. Oh, I don't love Krishna, I don't love Krishna, I don't love Krishna. But you're talking of Krishna all the time. Yeah, what can I do? I can't stop talking about Krishna. All right, so we shall stop here. And thank you all very much. Thank you for the comments and questions.